to everybody who's here. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Baba OluDaré, founder of Kiire Wellness and author of Breathing with Orisha. Breathing with Orisha is a process, practice, and ritual that is ancestral, that comes from the Yoruba people, that contextualizes all African diaspora movement, song, rhythm, and healing styles. It is a cousin to all of the original traditions of West Africa and all of the traditions that come out of Africa. So when we tap into Breathing with Orisha, we are tapping into an original style of breath work, an original style of meditation that includes movement and stillness. So we will be challenging the ideas of stillness, because what is stillness? Does it mean stagnation? Does it mean being stiff and not moving? No. What it means is that we are in one place. A mountain stays still, but of course there is so much movement happening in that mountain. Trees growing from the mountain, animals growing from the mountain, water gushing through the mountain. And so I want us to think about that when it comes to Breathing with Orisha today. That stillness is talking about the breath work internally inside, that we are moving while being still, that we are moving while sitting still. And so when we talk about Orisha, Orisha is a practice that embodies the breath. So every movement, every song, every rhythm embodies the undulation of the breath in and out, going up and down through the body. So today, what we're going to be doing is doing some simple breath work, all right, that simplifies what Orisha movement really is, all right? When you see Orisha movement out in the world, it can be performed, it can be in ceremony. What this is a way to bring that ancestral practice to the world in a way that is healing for us all. And so, with that said, Orisha means selected consciousness. Ori means consciousness, Sha means to select. So we're talking about very sacred, very important ancestral consciousness that helps us to continue to thrive through our traumas, through tribulations, and to help us to succeed and get on the right path. So today we're going to be breathing with Ori, which means breathing with consciousness. We all have consciousness, we all have ancestors, and we are all umbilically connected to the original source. And so therefore, we're going to breathe with Ori today. Ori exists in 3 special places in the body. One of those places you can't see through the camera, but they're in my toes. They're in my toes. And so these 3 places in the body are really important, but we're going to focus really on 2 today. The first being Ori Inu, your belly. Everybody tap your belly and say Ori Inu. And then we're going to tap our heads and say Ori Eleda. Okay, and these are the 2 places that we're going to be focusing on aligning today. This is Afro-ancestral wellness, one of the original ways to do alignment work, breath work that comes from my ancestors. And I love being able to look back and see somebody that looks like me practice wellness and give it forward to the future. And that's what I'm here to do, to help to make it simple for my community and for the world who needs alignment work in a way that speaks to their Afro-ancestral lineages. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So we're going to start in the chair. Many of Orisha movements happen standing up, but no matter what, whether you are able-bodied or whether you can't walk, doesn't matter. We're going to start in the chair and we're going to focus on our sits bones. Our sits bones are going to be like our feet. So if everybody can just move left and right on their sits bones and find them under those glutes. Yes, very good. And then once you do that, what you want to do is to rock your belly forward. And I'm actually going to turn so that you can see my waist literally rock. So you're going to rock your belly forward, and then you're going to rock your belly back and come to a neutral spine position. Then you're going to rock your belly forward, creating nice room in your Ori Inu. And then you're going to rock your belly back to a neutral position. This is going to represent your inhale and your exhale. So when you inhale, you're going to drop your Ori Inu forward like this. Allow it to fill up, going towards the ground. And then when you exhale, you're going to allow your sacrum to tilt back down and your belly to rise up. Try it again, breathing in, allowing Ori Inu to drop. And exhaling, bringing it back. We are inhaling through the nose and practicing some resistance breath through the mouth with a sound of on the exhale. Again, breathing in through the nose and exhaling. Very good. Breathe in and relax. There you go. It's very simple. That's just to really get our belly started. We wouldn't often be breathing in this way in ceremony or in tradition, but what we do is we practice song. Singing is one of the ways that we practice resistance breath to help us to remove traumas, to remove tension in the body, and to help vibrate our body as we're on our healing journey. So as we're bringing awareness, because breath is what brings us awareness, it's what brings us consciousness, it's what gives us agency in our healing. And so to all of us in therapy, you know that agency is what gives you the possibilities to make new choices and to respond to trauma in a way where you have a choice, where you can actually respond instead of react. So breathing is so important to our process in healing. So as we get into Ori Inu, we want to bring that breath up to a place called Egbe. All right, everybody touch your chest and say Egbe. Also, everybody touch yourselves and say Okan. All right, your chest, your heart space. This is the space for emotional intelligence and to allow yourself to feel. Everything that comes through this space is supposed to travel through, never to be stuck. And so many of us do hold tension in our heart space, in our shoulders, in our neck, and it's all related to restricting our feelings, right? And fighting ourselves when it comes to what we actually feel, how we really want to react to things. And so it's important for us to free ourselves here, allow ourselves to feel so that we can get to a place of response, okay? So what we want to do is really take this breath from the belly, from Ori Inu, ground ourselves, gives ourselves foundation, and then bring that breath up through Okan, allowing the chest to come forward. And then we're going to stop there. Not because naturally we would, but we want to pay attention to how this is flowing through our bodies. So I'm going to turn again, and we're going to start with the belly. Let's always start with an exhale, because when we start fresh, we can always rebuild with something new. So let's start with an exhale, again with that sound of resistance breath with the F, and exhale from the belly. And what we want to allow ourselves to do is our chest to concave and go over, because that is us releasing our feelings, allowing us to really surrender and trust the body, trust the bottom half of the body. Let the feelings trust the rest of your body. Let it know that it's not alone. Your body is experiencing everything together. Your heart has your hands, your belly, your feet, your legs, all as support as well. All right, so we're gonna take a nice deep breath in through the belly, allowing it to fall towards the floor, pulling the spine, straightening the spine, and allowing the chest to rise right over it. Very good. And once you feel full, you're gonna exhale right from the belly again. Whoosh. And surrender the heart. Again, breathing into the belly. Rising up, up, up into the chest. And exhaling from the belly. And the heart follows. One more time, let's breathe into the belly. Up through the heart. And exhale from the belly. And surrendering the heart. Let's take a break, put our hands on the knees, breathing in through our nose. Exhaling sound of ha, ha. Very good. And so many of you, I'm sure, have practiced what's called belly breath. It exists in many different cultures. And of course, it would exist in breathing with Orisha, because African tradition is one of the eldest traditions in the world. So as I continue to research and study African diaspora forms of breathwork and meditation, of course, belly breathing is at the center of what we do. And so many of you who have practiced different belly breath styles, you should have some practice. So what we want to do next is really get up into the head space, because that's another place that we hold tension. And sometimes when we think of mental health, especially in the Western world, we don't consider the rest of the body. But as you've been practicing today, when we talk about breathing with Orisha and Afro-ancestral healing and holistic practices, the head does not just mean the head. Ori means consciousness, and consciousness lives in our entire bodies. And we started with our bellies, because our bellies, we want to make sure that we are satisfied. We want to make sure that we are making choices that really align with everything that we need to do, everything that we are, and everything that we want to be. And so we must take our time and remember that this head does not control everything, that there are enough neurons in the digestive tract, in the intestines, to be a second brain. And guess what? My ancestors called this part of the body Ori-Inu, which means inner head. And I'm so thankful that they gave me that ancestral practice and wisdom to let me know that I have a second brain, even before my science teacher told me. So thankful. So when we think about how we're gonna be aligning today, I just want you to remember that you have an inner head right here with enough neurons to think and to feel. So you must trust your gut, as I'm sure you've heard before. We're gonna take our deep breaths from the belly, the heart, then the head. We're gonna play a little game of rub the belly and pat the head, okay? So I just want you to alternate hands and try it. And if you can't get it, that's okay. We're gonna touch our belly, belly, then heart, then head. Then we wanna go belly, heart, head. Always remember, when we inhale, belly, heart, head. And when we exhale, it's belly, heart, head. When we inhale, it's belly, heart, head. When we exhale, belly, heart, head. No matter what, we start with the belly. That is the impetus for the undulation, the impetus for the shape of the breath, which automatically and turns into the movement and the song and the rhythm of Orisha practice and Afro-ancestral practices around the world. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Let's take a moment to breathe through the belly, through the heart. After the heart becomes tall, like we did before, we're gonna breathe up through the head and just allow the head to go back as far as possible. Really 15 degrees is enough. We don't need a lot there. We're really just trying to straighten the spine, work through the spine, bring the breath through the spine, okay? And then exhaling out through the belly, concave in the heart, and surrendering the head all the way down. All right, so let's try it together. Here we go. Let's start with the exhale as we did before. From your Ori-Inu, exhale with a soft sound of F. Concave the heart and surrender the head. And then inhale through the belly, up through the heart, and up through the head. And exhale, belly, heart, and head. And inhale through the belly, heart, and head. Exhale through the belly, heart, and head. Inhale through the belly, heart, and head. Exhale last time, heart, belly, and this time breathe in. And exhale, sound of ha, ha. Ah. Also at this time, honor the space that you are creating in your body. I know that as you're doing this, you're feeling different parts of your body speak back to you. Parts that are releasing tension, parts that are like, you might want to scream a little bit. You might want to cry, you might want to moan, you might want to go, ooh, ah, whatever it is, those are important sounds for you to actually make, because the sound, like an instrument, is speaking the tension that is in your body. Your body is an instrument to the breath. And so when you feel that tension in your body, you have to allow it to sing. You have to allow it to speak, which is why the Orisha practice is so grounded in musicality, so grounded in song, so grounded in dance. The oral history of African tradition is grounded in sound because it helps us to embody and to release what consciousness is, rather than having to memorize it all. It is something that lives within us and that is able to flow in and out of us the way that water does, the way that air does. We don't own anything, and so it makes life easier when we allow ourselves to surrender. All right? And so if you are comfortable in your seat, feel free to stay in your seat. For those who want to stand up, I want to do the next 3 minutes by just simply standing up and doing the same practice and talking about Ori Iporin, which is our toes, another place of consciousness in the body that helps us to walk the right path, walk the path that is for us. So incorporating consciousness all throughout the body. Of course, this is a fast 20-minute explanation and workshop. We will continue this next week, all right, for our TRF Tuesdays to do another session. And I'll also be speaking at the summit on January 15th and giving you a presentation of what some of the music sounds like that we use to do this breath work and to manifest movement and sound and ancestral intergenerational healing. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Again, my name is Baba OluDaré, founder of Kiire Wellness, author of Breathing with Orisha, and I thank you so much for coming. For those of you standing up, let's get it. For those of you sitting down, keep the same practice. Your sits bones left and right. For those of you standing up, just lift your hips left and right. Make sure that your knees are bent and that you can feel your toes pointing forward. We're working on alignment, okay? So you want your knees bent, and we're gonna follow the same process for those of you who are standing up. Starting from the belly, we're going to exhale. Surrender the heart and the head. Keep the knees bent so that they keep this energy flowing straight into the ground, through the Ori, into Adao, the earth. Inhaling, breathing into the belly. Coming up through the chest. And through the head, aligning that spine. Lordosis, kyphosis, y'all. And exhale. Out through the chest and the head again. One more time, breathe in through the belly. Up through the heart, out through the head. Really stretch up, look up into your head. Stretch the spine as much as you can and exhale. Ooh. Very good. Breathe in, come up and relax. Exhale, sound of ha. Ha. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Thank you so much. This simple practice can help you whether you are sitting in traffic and getting angry, getting ready for the morning day, at work, you need a break, you need some circulation in your legs, you need to realign yourself, maybe you are a little angry or whatever is going on with you. This practice helps me so much, and it's helped so many generations of African descendants. And when we talk about surviving trauma, the world must look at Black people, African bodies, African stories, and what we've been through to survive not only transatlantic slavery, but also the industrial prison complex, Jim Crow, and all of the mechanisms that help to build the Western world that we have today, which we all enjoy. And so if we're gonna talk about surviving trauma within this world that we all exist in today, it's important to tap into the healing ways of African peoples who have survived and thrived through all of what we've been through as a world and as a world race. Thank you again.
Thank you. We're going to open up for questions, comments now. So if you want to drop anything in the chat, I can read it here and we can get some feedback. Lots of great heart emojis, loving the energy.
I want to see the heart emojis.
Yeah, open it up. Just a lot of thank yous.
Oh, wow.
Rose Malloy is asking, are there any YouTube videos that we can practice along with that already exist?
Yes, so I do have a YouTube page, so you can subscribe at Kiire Wellness. All of my links, all of the information that you're looking for, if you're looking to practice with me, if you're looking to learn with me, you can find me and my practice at Kiire Wellness. That's K-I-I-R-E Wellness. Everywhere. Facebook, Instagram. My website is kiirewellness.com, and my YouTube is also Kiire Wellness.
K-I-I-R-E. I'm just going to type it in the chat for everybody. Someone is asking, what country or areas is this practice originally from?
Sure. So the area that this practice is originally from is Yorubaland, which the Yoruba Empire before colonialization was very, very, very big. And it was right next to the Benin Empire. It was right next to the Ghanaian empires. So we're talking about West Africa, the Ivory Coast, and the Congo. And so all of these people are very related, and they're all my ancestors. If we talk about the transatlantic slave trade, we're talking about the Ivory Coast, we're talking about the Gold Coast, and we're talking about the Congo. And so these are the practices that survived through the Ma'afa, through the transatlantic slave trade, with the peoples, the African descendants that lived throughout the Americas. I am one of those descendants who have been lucky enough to hold on to their traditions and understand that my ancestors knew how to heal, knew how to do alignment work before anybody else taught us, or before wellness was a thing the way it is today. And so I'm so thankful to hold on to those traditions and understand that wellness does look African. Wellness does look like an African American. Wellness does look like somebody of African descent. Yes, it's been really important for me to share the practice, because when COVID hit in 2020, there were so many free resources that I created on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, now the Trauma Research Institution. It's really important for me and to make sure that the world knows that Breathing with Orisha exists, and that wellness and breath work and trauma healing does look like African descendant people as well. Next week, we're actually going to continue the same practice. We're going to do it again because it takes more than one day to really get this in your body. Matter of fact, the less you do it, the harder it is to get back into it. And it's really important to focus on bringing your body together, your breath together, your organs, your feelings, and everything, and just be in alignment. And so we're going to do the same practice and just help us to reground ourselves.
All right, wonderful. Well, I hope to see everybody then. Thank you again.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming, and see you next week at TRF Tuesdays, and also see you at the Social Justice Summit, Saturday, June 15th. Ooh, January 15th.
All right, take care.
All right, take care.